Studio 61, powered by Vantage TV by Frontier.
Welcome back to the news at 5. I'm Javon Batal, and tonight we're talking kids and those drastic cuts to state aid for schools across Connecticut. This is all being done in the absence of a state budget. Legislators have been going at it, and we're overdue for one by almost 2 months now. The governor says his hand was forced this morning when he announced revisions to an earlier executive order cutting state aid to school districts by as much as $20 million in some cases. 85 districts in our state will receive $0, and 54 others will have major reductions from what they're used to. All this as schools around our state prepare for their first day. And joining me now is Robert Rader. He's the executive director for the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education. So, Bob, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Obviously, a very busy day for you. So, what can
absolutely.
School districts expect here? What's going on?
Well, what's happening is the governor has put forward a new executive order. Now, everybody should know this is not the final tally that each district is going to get, but it is going to be something until we have a budget. We've been arguing for a budget for quite a while, but it's going to be devastating for some school districts. You're talking about Enfield, $20 million cut down to nothing from the state. Glastonbury, $6.5 million. Milford, $10 million. I mean, it's just terrible. And at a time when we're starting schools back up again, as you said, Yvonne, there's such anxiety out there to start with. This will only make it worse. And we understand that the governor did what he could to help some of the schools. The Alliance districts, which are the poorer schools, are not going to lose from what they got last year. But they're not going to get any more either under this initiative by the governor. So we're hoping it's something of a strategy in order to put some more pressure on the legislature, and we hope the legislature and the governor come together real soon with a budget that is good for our school districts, good for our towns and communities, and for us, good for our students.
Right, give the process a little bit of a nudge. But
absolutely.
Obviously for parents and students, especially those who are starting school in just a matter of days, what does this mean for them? Because I talked to a couple of superintendents today saying, we've got to run with these numbers. We have no choice. So what does this mean for kids who are going to be starting school soon?
Well, districts, depending on what district you're in and what town you're in, will let you know where you're going to be. In other words, some districts have their education budgets. Some took the worst case scenario right from the beginning, so they don't really know where they'll be, but their superintendents, their teachers, their principals are going to be able to help them. Every district has to have a certain number of days, and by the end of the year, we expect all of them to have 180. But it sure would be helpful to have a budget real soon.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of people are saying that. And Bob, in your capacity working with school boards, I imagine school boards across the state are dealing with something like this. And this is an extensive list that we have to work with here. What do boards need to know, and how is this going to affect taxpayers in those towns? Because obviously education aid and education funding is a big deal in those towns.
To be absolutely certain, we don't know. It will depend again on the communities, whether they already have a budget, whether they are in some kind of limbo where the town has said to them, well, let's see what happens with the state budget. But they're all concerned about it, anxious about it. We've made some great progress in the last few years, especially in test scores, in our graduate rates from high school, and we sure don't want to lose any of that ground. And as a matter of fact, we want to go forward in a positive way.
A lot of momentum there.
Absolutely.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for your time.
My
I really
pleasure.
appreciate you coming on.
My
and
pleasure,
obviously,
Jim.
there's a lot of towns, and we've got this list right here, and you can see it for yourself. It's going to be up online at fox61.com, and you can take a look and see how your town is going to be affected. Brent and Audrey, let's send this back over to you.